With a fashion education from London's esteemed Central St. Martin's and Milan's Domus Academy, followed by a prestigious apprenticeship in Paris with Emanuel Ungaro, designer Andrew Jin has an elite fashion pedigree. But just as essential to his acclaimed designs is Jin's multifaceted, multicultural Asian heritage.
Being born and bred in Singapore, I was brought up in a multicultural society. I'm actually 1/4 Japanese and 3/4 Chinese. And when I was a kid, when I used to visit my grandmother, I would see her wearing just beautiful kimonos. That was really, really elegant. So there's lots of Asian reference, but it's Asia now. Energetic, vibrant, colorful Asia.
The richness doesn't end with color. Since launching his eponymous label, Jin has become known for his ornate embellishment, plush materials, precise tailoring, impeccable craftsmanship, and unyielding sense of sophistication and luxury, for which his elite yet diverse clientele adore him.
We've carried Andrew, I think, from the very beginning. So I know his work, our clients know his work, we love it. It's very, very dear to us.
Well, I think Andrew has a real sense of luxury, great craftsmanship. He seems like a hidden treasure, that when a woman discovers his clothes, she is dedicated. He understands that women have to party, but at the same time they have to get up and they have to take their kids to school.
They dress women from different part of the world. She could be a mom, she could be a soccer mom, she could be Marissa Mayer running the Google empire, or it could be someone who is the top socialite in San Francisco, or she would be an actress. So it's very diversified.
Jin's passion for the arts goes beyond the runway. He is a connoisseur of antiques and fine art and believes that all beauty should be cherished.
If you know Andrew, he's an avid collector of many things. He just actually built a new home for himself because I think he has to house all the different sides of his lifestyle in different homes.
I think beauty is very important, and I think that if I could use beauty as a tool to express love and comfort and peace to the whole world, this is a message I'm trying to express. Lengthening it, flowy. That was really the initiating point of the collection. Another point in the collection, which is eyelets. I love eyelets, so I actually worked it on Swiss voile, on silk georgette, on silk crepe, blown up, and a taste of escapism. So that sums up my collection for spring-summer.
I love the Andrew Jin show because he is just such a master at producing beautiful, wearable, desirable clothes which just make you swoon.
Definitely women need to focus on lace, eyelet, and cut work because it's going to bring romance to her wardrobe and the 70s spirit everywhere.
Very colorful, loads of colors. Obviously, I still have lots of black and white, which I love as well. But colors everywhere, and it's like an orgy of colors. Well, we have got some really intense colors, like beautiful colors like peacock, deep violet, magenta. We have someone called azalea, which is almost like a purplish magenta, but a little bit more on the pink side. A deep emerald green, a stone, a corals, and so really strong, beautiful, vibrant colors for summer. We do believe in two things, beauty and perfection, and that is very much a motto in my house. So I think people come to me for that, and also we have top quality fabrics. For example, this season we have triple silk crepe, especially woven for us from Lyon, like triple, like heavy, and it drapes, and we have all the beautiful lace, which was specially embroidered for us in Switzerland, and so it's very, very luxe. And also, we're catering to the ideal woman who understands whether her lining is polyester or silk. So it's really what we call inner luxe as well. So women come to me for that. It's whimsical, full of imagination, and I call it a very happy collection. Happy clothing is joyful, and I think we really need to do that right at this moment, and that's a starting point. 3 major inspirations. The first one is actually an homage to my Asian roots. So there's lots of Asian reference, but it's Asia now. Energetic, vibrant, colorful Asia. Second is Impressionist, notably Claude Monet and his lily ponds. That also evoked the Asian poetry and landscapes. And the third one is something quite different. It's actually the Italian design movements in the 80s, Memphis. Simple geometrical forms and shapes and very, very strong color palettes. So that 3, I sort of put them in the blender, mix them together, trank it down, and I designed this collection. I love beading, embroidery, and surface embellishment because I'm kind of a maximalist. So I can't leave plain surface. I love to embellish them and make them interesting. And I also think that it's part of the sign of the time as well, because we need happy clothing, and those things makes you really happy, like colors and textures and beadings. I mean, we are talking about that dress, the yellow fringe dress. It took them days and days to finish up to simulate the Impressionist painting. They will cover it completely with different multi-textured beads and sequins and fringe. And so it also shows the couture side of my work as well.
Bergdorf's, we have a very, very long relationship with Andrew. We've probably been partners for a good dozen years now, and you can really count on him for making clothes which are very beautiful, always incredible embroideries. They're feminine. I don't think Andrew is trying to reinvent what fashion means. You have to always remember there are women, they don't want to deconstruct fashion. Ultimately, his clothes are feminine, very, very pretty.
To dress anybody from 18-year-old and much way above. We'll give you an example. We dress Emma Stone, and we also dress Mrs. Clinton. I find it really interesting, and we're not ages nor sizes. For me, all women are beautiful, and you have to bring out the beauty. Two words, noble and bohemian. It's a story about a noble family, but somewhat very bohemian at the same time. And they live in Venice, they live in the Venetian palace, palazzo. Don't have lots of money. Children are going around. Winter is cold and damp and long. Go around and take out the carpets and tapestries and making into cocoon coats and using, finding treasures like old brocade silk and braidings and trimmings from the old dusty trunks and transform them into cocktail dresses and blouses. And it's a noble life, but very bohemian. I think there's also some kind of a free spirit in it, a very free energy. Not just bohemian, also very free thinking, mixing things with no qualms, saying there are no more rules. It's not because we're noble we live that way, because we're rich we live that way. It's all about mixing it up. Break the rules, there you go. The evening is not as bohemian as it's grand soir, as they would call it, because there are a couple of evening gowns that are like long dresses with beautiful beaded cape to simulate the feathers. I can do it with taffeta feathers, all these sequin feathers. There are lots of beautiful fringe in the evening dresses, so there's a lot of movement on the body. And also, it's just quite bohemian, it's fringe, carefree. It's like, I don't care, I'm going to kill the world with those fringe. To simulate the old tapestries and carpets, we basically dye, suede, and cut them into micro sequins. and painstakingly re-embroidered on top of organza and quilted. It's spectacular. You could wear the most expensive, the most beautiful clothing, but you do not need to dress up in a conventional way. You know, it's like, you know, just be free. There you go. I am thinking about Russia before the revolution. In fact, I found these two really beautiful photos of Tsar Nicholas II with his family, and then another photo of his two daughters in the beautiful uniforms of their own regiment. It's like a beautiful embroidered military jackets with a long taffeta skirt. And I thought it was so interesting, this idea is quite romantic as well, of women like playing on masculine and feminine in the beginning of the 20th century. Started researching on all sort of different techniques and crafts revolving around the Edwardian period, like couching, cordings, lacings. So I did a whole research on that, integrate all those techniques into these collections, and have lots and lots of beautiful, rich fabrics, and voila, a rich winter again. Lots of furs, and we have done a lot of beautiful cover-up pieces. We call it the mantle during the early 20th centuries. So they were like beautiful cashmere or camel hair embroidered with black jet and black ribbons and cordings and fur. So it's more, and there's no stopping me. It's not just sparkles, it's also the idea of very intricate, hand-done, because I'm actually a great supporter of slow fashion, and I believe in producing things that cannot be copied within 48 hours. So I make sure that it's labor-intensive, cannot be copied immediately, so that's my whole goal. So, you know, good luck for trying to copy me. I mean, my favorite piece is actually the last piece you'll see. She's like Queen Victoria mourning for Prince Albert. It sounds depressing, but it was so mysterious and so glorious and so wonderful and so fabulous. The 20th century punk meeting what they call the marvelous and the incredibles from the Directoire period. It's just a very short period after the French Revolution. It's all about all these young people after the dark, horrible period of French Revolution. They were parading around in Paris wearing the most incredible and the most marvelous outfits in beautiful colors, luxurious silk woven in Lyon. It's expressing their own voice, saying that we want to live a free life and we're free again. And it's also individualistic expression through your clothing, which is very much what punk was all about. Anti-establishment, individualistic expression. So it's kind of an interesting cross between the two eras. And I think I chose that as a theme because I just felt that in the world we're living in right now, which is so messy and we're always living in, I don't want to say fear, but we don't live with a peace of mind. And then we need some beautiful clothing and some beautiful, wonderful things to lift us up. Tiramisu. I didn't really try to say, oh my God, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do with that. It's more or less an idea and a concept. And in fact, you'll see lots of different other influence inside. Like I have even brought in some kimono sleeves. I have really, really lovely embroideries and flowers and all that. And also the lots of denim, worked denim, studs and all that. And lots of beautiful hand ruffles. Basically, we cut them in bias and produce ruffles, self-fabric ruffles, we call them. I think it's a wonderful fabric to work with, and you can wash it, you can wear it, and lace around with it, but then all done with all the couture details. these are all hand embroidered. You can see all the pansies, and they're all silk thread pile embroideries, and so it's really, really labor intensive. So it looks as if like, oh, it's just like a dress, but then it's like, oh my God, when you look up close, it's so amazing. I think beauty is very important, and I think that if I could use beauty as a tool to express love and comfort and peace to the whole world, this is a message I'm trying to express. It's called Global Tribal. And as you can tell from the styling of the girls, I call them the tribal geisha. So all of them are like this beautiful, amazing braided hair with little geisha makeup. And the clothes, basically, I call them like global tribal because, you know, being born and bred in Singapore, I mean, I was brought up in a kind of like a multicultural society. So all of us belongs to a tribe generations ago. And today, the tribe, I think there's some very new definitions to that as well. It's a certain way we dress and the way we eat and kind of rituals of a daily life that makes us different from one another. All the cultures are mixing. So this is really an homage to the multicultural world we're living in. We started with looking at the aesthetic movement painters like acclaimed. We're looking at illustrations of R.B. Beardsley, some primitive art. We're looking also at some ancient tribal culture from Egypt. We've realized that once you break things up, they're all symbols, and they're very modern, and they're also very now. But obviously, I lux it up. My girl says she loves her luxury. There are actually silk thread embroideries and jerseys, and this one is actually inspired by the Egyptian minority minor culture we're talking about from like a couple of 100 years ago, and we actually like simplify it. And it actually looks like, someone's telling me that, oh my God, it looks very Scandinavian. It's like, there you go. Like Scandinavia and Egypt, they're so far, two different culture, but then, you know, they're sort of crossing each other at a time already. So it's about symbols and icons and different culture. A homage to our planet, big planet we're living in. And I think we're living in really tormented times, so I guess with this yearning of going back to roots and what's our roots, it was like searching for our roots, but it's all mixed up, and you know, so yeah, it's a homage to that. Now it could be like the whole planet is one tribe. So we're like a global tribal. Live strong and live beautifully. I was thinking about two things. First is one of my favorite cities, Kyoto. That's where my grandmother was born. I'm actually 1/4 Japanese and 3/4 Chinese. So Kyoto represents the old tradition, peace, beauty, where the geisha's from. And when I was a kid, when I used to visit my grandmother, I would see her wearing just beautiful kimonos. That was really, really elegant. To go to visit my grandmother, meaning was stop by Tokyo for a couple of days. And so that gave me the other inspiration, the Harajuku street fashion. Harajuku is an area in Tokyo, and in the 80s and 90s, they would shut down the area, and all the kids, the young kids, will go out dressed up and parade. They will take the vintage jackets or vintage kimonos of their grandmother, and they would cut it, tear it apart, remix it, wear it with the most outrageous things. It's always this element of soft and hard, romantic and punk, yin and yang, which I feel is very much today what our life is all about. It's a lot of different elements and mixed together. Nothing is pure today. So you have what we call the samurai shoulders. And then we have like all the sort of, we call it the techno flowers. It's modern because it's very short and it's fitted close to the body. It's strong, structured. I'm not a minimalist. Face it, I can't change that. And I'm very happy with it. I always think, why do less when you can do more? This actually started off on a beautiful Japanese wood block print, and we make it into really oversized shirts, and we add a lot of really interesting like grosgrain and stuff and buckles so that it has a parachute situation going on. You know, women does a lot of things, and no longer this cliche of, oh, I'm doing only that. You're doing that, plus this, plus this, plus this, plus this. So I'm actually designing for a woman who's very active, and she wants to do very different things in her lives, yeah.